of mineral nutrients. Up to copper we complete. Next one, copper role we discussed up to the formation of ascorbic acid, that was synthesis of vitamin C ascorbic acid. It is involving in reduction reactions by interconverting. I mean, that is a reversible process, interconversion, both are same. Reversible processes. Reversible processes means Cu plus 2 is there, Cu plus 3 is there. In this Cu plus 2 and Cu plus 3, which is oxidized state, which is reduced state? This is reduced state. Reduced means which have more electrons. This has less number of electrons, so it is reduced state. So it is, it is oxidized. This is reduced. When this reduced state, that means Cu plus 2, when it reacts with another compound which is oxidant, this is reduced state or reductant, we know. This Cu plus 2, when it is combines or reacts with this, an oxidant or oxidized state of any other compound, Cu plus 2 will convert into Cu plus 3 by transferring protons and electrons to this oxidant. So this is undergoing reduction, so it is converted into reductant. Okay. And Cu plus 2 is converting into oxidized form or oxidant. Okay. Here I told you interconversion. Interconversion means Cu plus 2 is converting into Cu plus 3, Cu plus 3 is converting into Cu plus 2. Interconversion is possible by a reversible process. When Cu plus 2 plus an oxidant reacts, Cu plus 2 donates protons and electrons to X and it is reduced. And Cu plus 2 is oxidized to Cu plus 3. Same, Cu plus 3 when it reacts with a reductant, it takes that proton from this reductant and Cu plus 2 plus 3 is converting into Cu plus 2. That is what interconversion or reversible oxidation process. Understand? Understand? Yeah, who asked that doubt? That person is not responding. Okay. Right. Why? Is Lohit there? Yeah. Do you understand what I am saying? Reversible process is interconversion. Reversible process. Better you keep reversible or this one. Yeah. Then next element, molybdenum. Next heading, molybdenum. Molybdenum. It is absorbed by the plant in the form of molybdenum oxide ion, MoO2 2+. MoO2 2+ stage. This is absorbable form of molybdenum to the roots of the plant. Then write a physiological role. Write a physiological role. It is a component of enzymes like nitrogenase and nitrate reductase. Nitrogenase and nitrate reductase, which involve in nitrogen fixation. Under cofactors of enzymes, we told that cofactor. For some enzymes need some cofactor. That cofactor may be coenzyme or what? Cofactor may be coenzyme or metal ion or a prosthetic group. Yeah. That metal atoms we gave many examples. Under that, molybdenum acts as a cofactor for enzymes. Like that, nitrogen fixing enzymes like that. Nitrogen is nitrate reductase. Next point, it helps in root nodule formation and reduction of nitrates into nitrites. Root nodule formation, where symbiotic association of bacteria in the plants of leguminous plants, roots of leguminous plants form root nodule that is responsible for what? Nitrogen fixation, some processes. That is physiological role of molybdenum. Next one. Chlorine. Source, absorbable chloride ions, Cl-. Source, plants absorb chlorine from the soil in the form of chloride ions. Next, physiological role. Under that physiological role, write photolysis of water and release of oxygen. Photolysis of water and release of oxygen. Normally during photosynthesis, H2O molecule will be broken down to H plus ions, 2 electrons plus half O2, like that. Water molecule is undergoing splitting into protons, electrons and oxygen atoms. That is what we say photolysis. Photo means light. In presence of light, water molecule is undergoing breakdown. That process is called as photolysis. So with the help of photolysis, water molecule is breaking down. That is responsible. Yeah, manganese is also involved in photolysis. Not only one atom. More than one atom may have same properties or same functions. That's what I told you. Okay. Then next point. It is needed for healthy root growth. It is needed for healthy root growth. Next, involves in transpiration. Transpiration also. Transpiration is carried by what? Usually potassium, K+. Potassium ions and sodium ions are involving in transpiration. So along with this sodium and potassium, chlorine also involves in transpiration, their opening and closing of stomata. Okay. Next, maintains anion-cation balance of cells. Maintains anion-cation balance of cells. Next, last one, nickel. Nickel. Source, Ni+2 ions absorbed by plant root cells in the form of Ni+2, nickel +2 ions. Next, role. Recently, it was recognized as essential element. In that essential, it is recognized as a trace element. Recently, it was recognized as trace element. Here, one thing you have to remember, trace. You may confuse with chemistry where you came across a word tracer. Tracer elements are different. Trace element is different. What is a trace element? Trace elements are micronutrients which are required in less concentration to the body. Yeah, little amount. So based on the quantitative requirement of minerals to the plants, small amount, not small amount. Yeah. So trace elements are micronutrients which are required in less concentration or less amounts to the body. That is a trace. Tracer elements. What are tracer elements? Tracer techniques. Tracer elements means which are actually radioisotopes. Radioisotopes. Isotopes of elements are atoms which emit radiation. They are called tracer elements. So tracer elements is different. Trace element is different. Trace element are nutrients or minerals which are required to plant in less concentration. That is less than 10 millimolar concentration. Less than 10 millimolar concentration is required means then it is called as what? Micronutrient or trace element. Okay, another one is macronutrient or principal element. So trace elements and tracer elements are different. Just note that difference. Next point. Recently, this what nickel was recognized as a micronutrient status. Recently only it was winning the status of trace element. That means previously it was not recognized as a trace element and its importance was not recognized. Okay, but recently it was recognized as one of the trace elements. Next, required for function, required for the activity of urease. Urease means urea is broken down into ammonia plus carbon dioxide, 2NH3, by the action of urease enzyme. You know, urease was the first enzyme what discovered. In all enzymes discovered, urease was the first enzyme which was discovered. That urease enzyme is responsible to break urea. NH3CONH3 is urea. Sorry, NH2C double bond O NH2. NH3 actually. So when it is combining NH2C double bond O NH2, this is urea. This urea will be broken down like this. NH3COO, CO2, NH3. Two ammonia and carbon dioxide molecules are removed or released from the breakdown of urea. So that breakdown of urea is activated by nickel. Next point. It is required for iron absorption. It is required for iron absorption and it can induce or it can develop disease resistance in some plants. Disease resistance in some plants. Next topic, deficiency symptoms of essential mineral elements. Okay, we already discussed what are essential elements. If any element is fulfilling the three criteria, what is that? Which is responsible for growth and reproduction, and which is irreplaceable, and which is having a direct role, which has a direct role on metabolism, and which is responsible for growth and reproduction, and which activity is irreplaceable. That element is said to be essential element. That essential element, if an element is fulfilling all the three criteria, we said it is essential element. Okay. But essential element is must and should required for the activities of the three. It cannot be replaced by any other element. It has a direct role on growth and metabolism. It has, growth and reproduction is maintained, and it has a direct role in the physiological changes or metabolic process. So, all these processes like growth, reproduction, physiology, metabolism, that process must and should require this one. Suppose if any essential element is absent means its activity cannot be replaced by any other element. Not replaced is deficient. When it is deficient and not replaced by any other element, what happens? That deficiency condition will cause fail of the plant for reproduction. It cannot complete its life cycle. Life cycle of the plant cannot be completed. So as life cycle of the plant is not completed, it fails to reproduce. So all minerals or essential elements are involving in some activities. All essential minerals are involving in some activities where the deficiency is causing these symptoms like this. And what are the symptoms? This is not a disease. This is not a disease. This is just metabolic defect. Deficiency of minerals do not develop disease. It is developing metabolic defect so that there are some symptoms. I think you know very well about that disease and symptom. What is disease? What is a disease? Yeah, affected with it, effect of virus, any pathogen, not a disorder, caused by pathogen, whether it is bacteria or fungi or virus, whatever it is, or allergen. If any pathogen is attacking on the body, it will develop some disease. That is disease. Yeah, symptom means identification marks. When a disease or disorder is there, when disease or disorder, it is not initial stage of disease, symptom. When a disease or disorder developed, that shows some symptoms. That is what we can say symptom. Suppose fever. Fever is a symptom of many disorders or diseases. Fever, increase in body temperature is a fever. It is a symptom. Cold, effect of virus, flu virus. That is a disease. Symptom which is developed due to cold. That is a symptom. Okay. Disorder means if metabolism is not taking well, if metabolism is not taking place well, then normal metabolism and normal formation of the biomolecules is not good. So that the physiology will get changed. That is what we can say disorder. Suppose jaundice. Jaundice is due to disorder, metabolic disorder, where bile pigments are produced more. Okay, right. So deficiency symptoms. Whenever the supply of essential element is decreased to the plants, we told you a technique to find the role of an element by supplying that element through nutrient solution. What is the technique we use to study the role of nutrients? Yeah, hydroponics. By using hydroponics, we can study. Okay. So when we supply an essential element to the plant, then its growth is normal and that element is showing its activity normally. But whenever there is less supply of an element to the plant, whenever the supply of element is become limited, plant growth retarded. I mean, limited supply of essential element causes retardation of plant growth. Retardation of plant growth. Plant growth gets retarded. What is retardation? Low rate of growth will be there. Okay. Here, every element has a concentration what is required. So, concentration of an element required is called critical concentration. Concentration of an element which is required to the plant is called critical concentration. Every plant should get an element up to their critical concentration. Suppose what is most abundant mineral? Most abundant mineral. Most abundant mineral is nitrogen. But most abundant element, hydrogen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, they are available in atmosphere as gases and water. So we didn't discuss about the physiological role. Okay. Usually most abundant element in plant is carbon and most abundant mineral which is absorbed by water or something, that is what we can say nitrogen. Okay. So whether carbon or hydrogen or oxygen or nitrogen, boron, phosphorus, potassium, whatever it is, there is a particular concentration of every element which is required to the plant. That concentration of an element which is required to the plant, I mean minimum requirement, that is what we say critical concentration to maintain plant growth development. To maintain plant growth development, that is what critical concentration. So the concentration of elements below this critical concentration retards growth of the plant. The concentration of element below critical concentration is responsible for retardation of the growth. That is a point. Okay. Here, if any element is absent, any particular absence of any element, if any element is absent, then what it is resulting? I told you already, an element is responsible for metabolic activities. So it leads to physiological changes of the plant. What is the physiological change? Physiology is due to metabolic activities. Physiology is due to metabolic activities. When element is absent, not available to the plant, then metabolism gets disturbed. As metabolism getting disturbed, it causes physiological change in that plant. That leads to physiological changes. Even this may lead to morphological changes also. Physiological means metabolism is changing. That finally leads to morphological change. What is morphological change? Physical appearance of the plant. I mean, plant is usually green in color. If you take an example, plant is usually green in color. Here that green color of plant is due to what? Green color of plant is due to what? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is produced by the activity of magnesium. If magnesium is not available to the plant, then chlorophyll will not form. Chlorophyll is not forming means leaves will not appear in green color. Then they cannot prepare food also. Photosynthesis is not taking place. Like that we can observe. Okay. Here this morphological change, that morphological changes are indications of unavailability or deficiency of elements. Which element is deficient? Like that we can find by observing the morphological change. If plants are losing green color, then we can say there may be absence of magnesium. And in chlorophyll formation, some other elements are also involving. In chlorophyll formation, one element is involving, I told you. What is that? Iron. Iron is required for chlorophyll. If iron is deficient, then magnesium will, if iron is deficient, no chlorophyll formation. If magnesium is deficient, then also there is no chlorophyll formation. Like that, we can find. I will tell you how to find that deficiency. Okay. Here, this deficiency symptoms are varying from element to element. These deficiency symptoms different. They vary from element to element. They are different from element to element. Some elements are showing some symptoms, some elements are showing some other symptoms, like that. Okay? All deficiency symptoms are not common. Here, if all elements, if elements are deficient for long time, okay, deficiency is leading for long time means if that deficiency condition, minerals are deficient for long time, that is what we can say deprivation. Deprivation is continuing for long time, then that leads to death of the plant. Plant may die. Iron is required for chlorophyll. Just now I told you magnesium is required for chlorophyll. If iron, magnesium are present, then only chlorophyll will form and it can mediate photosynthesis and prepare food, cell, division and all the activities of plant will be continuing. But if there is no magnesium or iron, chlorophyll will not form. Chlorophyll is not forming means, first of all, leaves lose green color. So green color is not formed. Plants, leaves can turn into some other color. As there is no chlorophyll, there is no photosynthesis. No photosynthesis means no food preparation, plant dies. That is what we say. So if deprivation is continuing for long time, then it leads to death of the plant. And in which part there is development of symptoms for deficiency is different for element to element. In transport in plants we discussed, there are elements which can be mobilized, which cannot be mobilized, which can be mobilized and which cannot be mobilized. That symptoms, deficiency symptoms are depending on mobility of elements. Mobility of elements. What is mobility of elements? Transport of an element from one part of the plant to another part of the plant. That is mobility. So for mobile elements, deficiency symptoms are showing somewhere, and for immobile elements, deficiency symptoms are developing somewhere. Okay. See here, for actively mobilizing elements, for actively mobilized elements, these deficiency symptoms, whatever develop, are seen first in older parts. This is very important point. Older parts. And for non-mobilizing elements, the deficiency symptoms are first seen in young parts. For non-mobilizing elements, these symptoms develop first in young parts. Why? For mobile elements, it is developing in old parts, and for immobile or non-mobile elements, it is developing in young parts. See here, a plant is there where that meristematic tissues or young parts are present at tips, and this old part, suppose this is branches, it has many leaves like this. This is young part, this is old part, we can say. For actively mobilizing elements, actively mobilizing means they can transport from one part of the plant to another part of the plant in any direction, you know. Along with phloem transport, phloem is responsible for food and minerals. Food and minerals is transported by phloem. As per the phloem movement, that minerals can be transported in any direction from one part of the plant to other part of the plant. For actively mobilizing means they can move from one area to another area. So as they are moving from one area to another area, suppose plant grown up to some time, plant grown. That means up to that time, all elements are available and all elements are deposited in old parts. Old parts are deposited with all. Suppose take this magnesium. First, when plant is growing, magnesium is available and magnesium was deposited in old parts. Okay. Now, after some time, the symptoms were developed here. Deficiency was developed for magnesium. Under this time, when deficiency develops for magnesium, the element which is already stored in old parts, that will be moved to young parts, because in young parts, cell division, growth, development, everything is taking place fastly. For that, there is a need of that element. That element which is already stored in old part, that will be moved to young parts. So young parts will take that mobilizable element from the old part. Now old parts are losing that element. So symptoms develop here first. Okay. But Non-mobilizing element means element is not moving. Already suppose an element like sodium or iron, something is there. If it is here, it is in old part. Plant already has iron. Okay, no problem. But during the plant growth, deficiency was developed suddenly. When deficiency raised suddenly, the plant is not getting proper iron. But plant has iron. If iron is able to move from one area to another area, no problem. But this is non-mobilizing element. As a non-mobilizing element, this old part has iron up to some time. It is maintained. So, old parts already have iron, so no issue. Their deficiency symptoms will not develop. But young parts are actively dividing. For that young parts, there is no availability of the elements. So that in young parts, deficiency symptoms develop first. Okay, this is the point. Okay, here, if we take an example, deficiency symptoms of nitrogen, potassium, manganese. Nitrogen, potassium, manganese, no manganese, sorry, magnesium. Nitrogen, potassium, magnesium, that symptoms visible or observable first in senescent plants. Senescent pods means which is falling down. Old leaves which are falling down or old branches which are falling down. That is what we can say senescent pods. In that we can observe. Okay. So, in old pods, what is happening in senescent plants? In senescent pods, there is no availability of the minerals. So, in old pods, that biomolecules will break and supply these minerals to young pods. So, as old pot is dying, is falling down, the biomolecules, whatever present in the old pot, it is breaking down. By breaking down, all the minerals will be released. That minerals are being carried to the young pods. That is one point. Okay. For immobile, this is one example. For immobile, there is development of deficiency symptoms in young pods, I told you. For example, calcium deficiency is responsible, which is due to structural components. Calcium is a structural component. It is immobile. As it is immobile, deficiency symptoms are developing first in young pods. Deficiency symptoms for calcium will develop in young pods first because calcium is an immobile element. Okay. As it is a structural component, it is not broken down from the old pods and it is not easily released to the young pods. Okay. So this basis of finding the symptoms is mainly used in agriculture, horticulture. Finding of deficiency symptoms is very important for agriculture, horticulture, floriculture, whatever it is, where plants are being grown. Agriculture, horticulture also. Okay? Right. Copy this, then just 5 minutes I'll complete. Yeah, done. Then see the types of deficiency symptoms. What are the deficiency symptoms? Deficiency symptoms may include chlorosis, necrosis, premature leaf fall, and stunted growth. Deficiency symptoms. What are the deficiency symptoms which are developing? So the kind of deficiency symptoms like chlorosis. Chlorosis is one. What is chlorosis means? Chlorosis is loss of chlorophyll. Loss of chlorophyll means leaf becomes yellow color. Leaf becomes yellow color. Just now I told you chlorophyll. What is the reason for chlorophyll deficiency? Suppose magnesium is deficient, iron is deficient. There are many substances which are present in the chlorophyll. If any element is deficient, then it is called what? Loss of chlorophyll, and this is leaf becoming yellow. What is the reason for the chlorosis? Deficiency of many elements like magnesium which is majorly present, iron which is involved in formation of chlorophyll, then
yeah, suddenly it got
muted. 1 second. Nitrogen, potassium, sulfur, then anything is there? Yeah, manganese, zinc, and molybdenum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Deficiency of any of these 8 elements, nitrogen, potassium, magnesium, sulfur, iron, molybdenum, sorry, manganese, zinc, molybdenum is also there. This is one condition. Second one is necrosis. Necrosis. What is necrosis? Necrosis is particularly death of a tissue. Death of tissue, particularly leaf. Due to deficiency of any element, if a part of the plant or a tissue of the plant is dead, then that condition is called as necrosis. Particularly leaves are dead during necrosis condition. This necrosis is due to deficiency of calcium, calcium. Why? Because calcium is responsible for cell division. Calcium, magnesium, potassium, and one more is there. Calcium, magnesium, potassium, one more, fourth one, copper. Deficiency of that calcium, magnesium, potassium, and copper, that is causing loss of the plant part or death of the plant part. That is what we can say necrosis condition. Okay, and inhibition of cell division. Inhibition of cell division. Inhibition of cell division means third condition, which is stunted growth. Growth is not taken place. This leads to stunted growth. If cells are dividing, then only tissues can be grown. But cell division is not taking place or inhibited means then that growth is not normal. That is what stunted growth or inhibition of cell division. That inhibition of cell division is due to nitrogen, potassium, sulfur, molybdenum. Nitrogen, potassium, sulfur, molybdenum. Okay. Then fourth one, delay in flowering. Delay in flowering. Usually after the vegetative phase, the plant will produce flowers. But delay in flowering is a condition where plants do not flower in time. Plants do not produce flowers in time. That is what delay in flower, that is late flowering. Late flowering. That is due to elements sulfur, deficiency of nitrogen, sulfur, molybdenum. Correct? Yeah. Nitrogen, sulfur, molybdenum. Okay. There may be some more conditions like premature leaf fall. Premature leaf of fall of bud or leaf. Without maturation or without full growth, leaves or buds will be falling down from the plant. That is also a deficiency symptom. Deficiency of minerals is causing symptoms like this. Here, listen once, listen carefully here what I am saying is. More than one element is causing same symptom. Right? More than one element. Suppose chlorosis is due to deficiency of 8 different elements, and single element can cause more symptoms also. See here, nitrogen deficiency is causing chlorosis, and nitrogen deficiency is causing retarded growth, stunted growth, and nitrogen deficiency is causing delay in flowering also. Suppose one element is deficient. One element is deficient means that causes one deficiency disorder to which it is related. Okay. How to find that deficient element is a question. How to find this? We can compare. Suppose if there is chlorosis only, no necrosis, no stunted growth, no delay in flowering. Suppose molybdenum is deficient means due to molybdenum deficiency, this stunted growth and this also will appear. These are not appearing, necrosis is also not there, just chlorosis is there. Now, what is it related? Potassium is there means this condition will also be seen, but this condition is not there, so it is not there. Sulfur is there, both. Zinc, zinc or manganese or iron we can say. Chlorosis only developing, but no other symptoms. That means it may be due to iron or manganese or zinc. For particularly iron, we can find some other symptoms like that. Okay. So, based on the element deficiency, there are many symptoms for single elements, and many elements are producing single deficiency disorder also. So, by comparing that, we can find. So, deficiency of any element can cause multiple symptoms, and same symptoms may be caused by deficiency of several elements. So, to identify the deficient element, which is identify element, we have to identify all the symptoms in that plant. We have to identify or study all the symptoms developed in all plant parts, and we have to compare them. We have to compare them. By comparison, we can find which element is deficient. Okay? Right. Yeah, calcium also due to necrosis. Yeah, see here. Calcium is causing only necrosis. This one, see here. If necrosis is there, other symptoms are not there means it may be due to calcium. If magnesium is deficient, it causes chlorosis also. But chlorosis is not developed, only necrosis is developed. That means it is calcium. Like that we can find by comparing. Okay? Right. After that, if any element is deficient in soil, that causes a spread of some pathogens and causes some diseases also. That table I will share in the group. You can copy that. Okay. Prepare well for WPT up to this topic from the beginning of the lesson. Up to here. Up to today class, you have to prepare for the WPT. Yeah. Thank you. Done. Have a nice day. Vaishika, you post attendance once. In previous class, that fellow Nandakumar, in everyday class, Nandakumar is not staying up to the end of the session. I identified. In every class, he is leaving in middle of the session. Okay. I think he is playing PUBG or some other. We will find that. I traced out something about Nandakumar. We will let you know. We will take an action. Yeah, thank you. Bye.